It's a beautiful Monday morning in the city of Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki, and this morning I'm starting with Vanguard on the paper review. Vanguard is leading with insecurity, Tinubu orders action on insurgents and Plateau killings. You can see that on page 37 of Vanguard newspaper. And lastly, here we have Iran votes to close Strait of Hormuz after United States strikes on nuclear facilities. You can see that story on page 5. And the Guardian leading story says Israel-Iran war. Hope for Nigeria's troubled fiscal outlook as oil prices head to $80. That can be seen on page 6. Sanwo-Olu to meet APC stakeholders ahead of local government polls. Cloudburst. Ogun government urges calm as lightning kills 32 cows. News page 7 has the story. Obi Atiku decry rising insecurity as Tinubu northern governors condemn killings. Insecurity escalating in Igua. Judge abducted. Man confesses to killing toddler. You can see that on Metro page 12 and on news page 5. Nigeria losing $500 million yearly to abandoned containers at ports, Serac warns. Lamido differs with Enyam over Tinubu's role in June 12 annulment. APC silence as PDP dismisses formation of ADA. You can see that on news page 4. And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, ECOWAS vow to champion democracy, security and regional reform. You can see that on news page 4. And lastly, the Punch leading story says pastoral crisis, 11 states embrace federal government's ranching plan as killing surge. Governors offer lands, Adamawa, Bayelsa, others caution farmers reject open grazing. You can see that on page 2. And lastly, here we have Iran, Israel. Petrol may eat 1,000 naira per litre as oil price soars. You can see that on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. And that's all we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for a brief analysis of some of the stories with our guests. Welcome back. If you're just joining me, this is today the news on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki, and joining me to analyze some of the stories on the front pages is Mr. Ali Mohammed. He's the CEO of Magnet Communications, former editor of Daily Times and Concord newspaper. Good morning,
Good
Mr. Ali.
morning, Amilola. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. And let's talk about the Plateau State. About all the dailies are leading with it. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu he has condemned the recent killings of travelers in Plateau State. He described the attack as unacceptable and barbaric. What do you think about this condemnation and the killings itself in general?
Well, it is sad that we are still experiencing these killings in the northern part of Nigeria, despite the visit of the president to what's the name of that state, uh, which he was in the north this the last weekend, and he said the same thing that the security apparatus in the north should be strengthened. All the service chiefs went to him. It is sad that we are having another killing just after the president's visit to Benue State. I condemn the recent killing, and there is no killing that is worth commending because the person who didn't create life doesn't have the right to take it. So, having said this, the government must strengthen the security apparatus of this country. There is still a hole somewhere that is leaking within the security apparatus. We have the Nigerian Army, we have the Air Force, we have the Navy, we have the SSS, we have what again? After the SSS, the Special Intelligence Units. You know, we have all this, and yet we are witnessing so much killings in all parts of the country. People keep talking about the fact that the killings are restricted to the north, but I disagree. We've had killings in the east, we've had killings in the southwest, kidnappings in the southwest. Uh, Now, some of us are afraid to even get on the highway these days because you are not sure if you won't be kidnapped. So it is false or unacceptable for people to sit down and tell us that the killings are more in the north, are mainly in the north. Sorry. Yes, they are more in the north because of the greed of some people in that part of the country. Do you know that community leaders in the north will deliberately arrange the kidnap of their people because they want to make money? We've had a lot of security reports on that. What is the government doing on this? Because there is this adage that if the owner of the house does not compromise, then no external forces can have access to that house. So all the compromises in the north is one of all those compromises are the reasons why we have a higher number of kidnapping and killings in that part of the country. Because a lot of people are involved, top people are involved in these activities because they are making millions from it. Have you observed that the ransom demanded by kidnappers is not within 50, 20, 25 million anymore? Once there is a kidnap, they want 100 million, they want 200 million. Even from a poor man, they kidnapped a retired army officer recently, and they said the ransom required for the man to be free is 200 million. How many Nigerians can raise 200 million in 24 hours, if not those who have stolen? And as a result, we have situations where some of those that have been kidnapped get killed by their abductors. So, if you look at the whole gamut of what we have on ground, it requires a lot of intelligence for us to get to the root of the matter. And I doubt if we have an arm of government that can give us that kind of opportunity, intelligence report that will solve this problem, because everybody is looking for money, from the soldier to the police to the naval officer to the air force officer. Everybody is making money from kidnap. That is why it is festering. So we should think of this country first. If we still want this country together, to remain together, if we still want this country to be free of violence, if we still want this country to be free and be devoid of the daily kidnapping and killings that we have, people must be honest with the fight against kidnapping. But you will be surprised that those who have been appointed as a special squad to ensure that kidnapping is erased, they are the ones making money now. Go and check it out.
Mr. Liu, what structural weaknesses in our security system are being exposed by incidents like this? I mean, we have all other security officers and we have the equipment. So, what structural weaknesses are being exposed like this?
Damilola, I have seen videos of helicopters dropping food and ammunition for kidnappers in the bush. Yet we have the Air Force that is in charge of protecting the country from our skies. They couldn't locate that plane. We have airports. We have intelligence system that could easily locate those. I don't know if you have seen some of the. I have one on my phone. Helicopters flying in the air, and it landed in the bush, dropped arms, dropped ammunition, dropped food for kidnappers, and it took off. And we have control towers all over our airports, and those none of the control towers could locate that helicopter, you will know from there that something is definitely fishy. An helicopter is not supposed to take off without taking instructions from a control tower. Do you know?
So is this security failure or a leadership gap?
Both. There are compromises in all aspects of our security architecture in this country, and it is unfortunate that what everybody wants to make now is money. 200 lives can be taken at one fell swoop. Nobody cares about that. Forgetting that one day, whatever it is that you have collected and kept, you will leave it in this world. You won't take it to heaven. That is the truth of the matter. If you destroy this world because you want money that you want to keep, don't forget that you are also going to leave your children here. They are not going to be in this world forever. So whatever it is that you must do as a civil servant, as a security man, as an Air Force officer, please do it well. That's the problem we are having. People don't care about this country anymore. People care more for their pockets, not minding the consequences. If it is going to take lives, so be it. How can you have a special military task force on banditry in the north and you are not feeling the effect of that task force? Broken down into different zones. And yet you have 200 people killed in Benue. So many people killed days after the president, commander in chief of Nigeria, went to Benue, called all the service chiefs, and asked them why they couldn't arrest one person. And they all stood and couldn't answer. And the president did nothing. If I were the president, that would have been the end of the tenure of all those service chiefs. A drastic situation demands a drastic solution. I expected the president to have sacked all the service chiefs that day after asking them, why was there no arrest? The IG of police stood like this, looking like a dunce. The man in charge of the army stood up, he couldn't talk. And you call this a democracy? Something is wrong somewhere.
Now, some people are questioning that. What is the role of the local leaders, the kings,
The kings, some
the
of
also
them,
some of the religious
some of
leaders?
them, yes, I was going to say that some of those kings are also not sincere. But a lot of the local leaders who are directly facing the attacks have taken over the security architecture of their zones. They have put together a team of youths, armed them with local ding guns, armed them with cutlasses, some of them with traditional bulletproof, have automatic rifles, and they are the ones protecting their areas. Even in my place in Edo State, we had to come together as members of that community and get youths to protect the community when kidnapping became so high in that part of the country. Don't for you will keep thinking that kidnapping is restricted to the north. No, it has been so prominent in Edo State. You are talking, if you are not looking at Oyo North, Oyo North, kidnapping is so high there. Ìṣẹ́yìn, Ejigbo, all those areas. It's because all the kidnappings there are not announced on the newspapers or on radios. But in the north, once they kill 200 people, it will be everywhere. Yeah, the killing is all over the country, oh, not the north. So it's a situation that demands an urgent action from the government of the federation. It's not only in the north. Kidnappers are everywhere. To get on the expressway now, I think twice. I am telling you, it has become that bad. I sit down and think about it. Is it necessary for me to go? If I go, well, if I don't go, what will happen? Those are the questions you must ask yourself before getting onto the highway to say that you are traveling these days. The heavens won't fall if you don't attend any event. And somebody is doing a party in Ogun State. He's my friend. Oh. If I don't go, he will be angry. Let him be angry. You need to live first. Send him 20, 30,000
It'll
and,
be all right.
and take care of yourself. You must protect yourself. People must also be careful how they move around. People just go out of their houses aimlessly, go to somewhere. You are going from Yanopada, especially now. They kidnap at most bus stops in that area. Ayobo axis, Yanopada garage, Egbeda axis. We've read about so many kidnap situations in those places, but they remain underreported. So we need, as individuals, you have to sit down and plan your movement very well. When the country gets into a situation, into the kind of situation you have to deploy your senses into every action and decisions you want to take. Very important.
All right, let's talk about President Tinubu's visit to Benue
Yes.
government, and it was a colorful one. It was
Colorful.
very colorful. We had, people they were putting on beautiful, clothes, beautiful colors with billboards. Thank you, Mr. President, for the condolence visit. What do you think about this? Because this caused a lot of outrage on social media.
I saw the beautiful outing. I saw I listened to the accolades that some leaders and the encomium poured on Tinubu. And there is one aspect of it that I love. Did you listen to the traditional ruler that addressed the president last? The man opened up and told him the truth. That what is going on in Benue is ethnic cleansing, not a criminal. Apart from being a criminal act, it's a deliberate action and decision to clean off some parts of that state. The president did like this and was looking at him. The man spoke for over 45 minutes and people were clapping for him. But unfortunately, the man's speech is underreported in the media. And I was sad when I looked at the papers the second day and I didn't see anything about this man. All we read on the newspapers were the beautiful things said about Tinubu. Will that solve the problems in Benue? No. I expected the president to have invited that real father to the villa and download everything that he said at that event and even get more information about what that man reported in his speech. It could be a solution to solving the problem in Benue. I don't know if you listen to that royal father. I listened to him on TV. It is online. Those are the kind of things that interest me. One person out of a multitude looking at the president in the face and telling him the truth. And the president did like this, listening. At the end of the day, I expected the president to stand up and say something, but he didn't say anything. You see, all these visits is not about people saying that you are the greatest leader, that Nigeria, they are not solving any problem. Listen to your critics, not your critics alone, those who are telling you the truth. If I were the president of Nigeria, that man will not sleep in Benue that day. I will take him to the villa and download a lot from him. If the president was able to do that, it could give us an in way to solving the problems of kidnapping and killing in that state. But unfortunately, he didn't do it.
Well, as part of ways to address these age-long, these violent clashes between herders and farmers, 11 states they've taken up steps to commence ranching, and 11 states have adopted it, and they've allocated lands for ranching. I think those ready to comment, they are Lagos,
You can see that
Ondo,
I
they
am
are all
laughing.
ready.
These things are not about ranching. Damilola, you are speaking grammar. this thing, the criminal activities going on is about making money. We've been living without ranching in peace for years. Why is it that the issue of ranching is being pushed forward as a reason for the killings there? Ranching. Those people that you want to restrict to be nursing their cows and farm related things in a single environment, they cannot do ranching because they have been used to moving their cows around from one village to another. So don't let us fool ourselves about ranching. If you introduce ranching, you still see Fulanis moving there. It won't stop the movement of cows from one place to another. And in fact, what has movement of cows from one place to another got to do with killings? You to sit down and look at it now. Yes, cows are moving. Must you now kill innocent people because you must move your cows? This one has nothing to do. The killings in Benue have nothing to do with ranching. Greed of human beings. People want to make billions in 48 hours and they cannot. They are using some disgruntled youths to kill people and expect that the leaders of that community will come and say, okay, stop, or the governor will come, okay, stop, take 20 billion or take 30 billion. That is what the crisis that we are having is all about. We have a corrupt society, unfortunately, in this country, and nobody is able to do anything about it.
Well, as much as we'll continue to
But
talk about
we will
let
continue to say the truth.
mm,
I will continue to say, if you like, come and kill me. That is if God gives you the power. But the truth of the matter is that it is not about ranching. It is about a few people who are out to make money. If they ask the governor and the governor refuses. But did you listen to El-Rufai in Kano? How much they were giving to bandits to stop killing? 400 million, 1 billion. Are you talking about? In a state where people are suffering. Do you know the level of suffering in Nigeria today? Some people cannot even have one meal. And some people expect that governors will bring billions because you are killing people. I don't know how the government want to solve these problems. But the truth of the matter is that let them establish 2 million ranches. It won't solve the problem. Let us wait and see.
all right, let's move away from that and talk about Israel and Iran war. What's your take on that, especially now that United States of America have intervened?
Initially, last week, when I heard that Iran bombed Israel, I knew that there would be serious crisis in the Middle East. But now that our big brother in the US has joined with the bombing of the nuclear site of Iran, I think we are approaching what could turn out to be a world war if care is not taken. We are approaching world war if care. Yeah, do you know that Britain is being threatened now by Iran? And they will bomb Britain, they will bomb US and all that, and all the allied countries of those of the US and United Kingdom. Allied countries, Nigeria is included. What weapons do we have? Do we have nuclear weapons in Nigeria? We can't face Boko Haram, and you want to go and fight war. Boko Haram comes, and soldiers will run, and you are going to deploy those soldiers to face Aba. Let's just kneel down and start praying for Nigeria. I won't say more than that.
All right, let's talk about the petrol prices, and it's potentially going to hit 1,000 naira per liter due
Yeah,
to this Iran.
that's the spiral
And
effect of the ongoing war in the Middle East.
this morning
They
it
are
went
in
up
charge of
as over 900
they
naira.
are
It was
in
less than
well,
800.
you are not producing country now. You are not supposed to have that reverberated feeling of an increase immediately. The increase is coming too fast. These things happen over the weekend, and by Monday, transport cost has gone up in Lagos. Can you see that we are all jokers? Everybody is just looking for an opportunity to seize. and make money. The same situation that is making Boko Haram to thrive in this country. A leader, somebody who is a leader somewhere, will sit down and kill people, and government will go and beg him and drop money. The same government that have police, mobile police, what is it, tactical unit, SSS. You know, it is shameful that we cannot even solve our problems here. So I want to pray and beg those in government that they should mind what they say about the crisis in the Middle East, so that we don't face serious pounding from these people. If we have one pounding, I am sure that a lot of countries, a lot of people will go. I don't pray it happens, but the only way we can avoid it is for government officials to mind what they will say about what is going on between Iraq,
Anyway,
Israel, and Iran. Sorry, between Iran, Israel, and America. I am begging you. We have enough problem to contend with. That is Boko Haram. We can't even solve that problem. It's not a laughing matter. You just think it's a laughing matter. Look at the number of people that have died from Boko Haram attacks. It is like we are in a war situation already in this country. So if we compound it by meddling into the Middle East crisis, I don't know what will happen. So let us be careful.
well, what do you think about the public relations and management of the country, the crisis management?
Crisis management is new. We don't know how to manage crisis in this country. Number one, due to corruption. In a corrupt environment, you cannot do what you are supposed to do in a normal environment, in a corrupt environment. Number two, what we have in Nigeria is more of a military system of government. We are not in a democracy. We just have a civilian president there. Do you know the number of people following him? Did you watch NTA which day that he was making a speech and somebody was going to attack him? And they all dived at the man. He was investigated. Why would that man, in the first place, how did he have access to the hall? And you have that huge number of security men. Somebody who is not supposed to come in came in and was diving at the president. And you say you have security. No, that is not security. If you take that kind of security practice out of the country, I pray that we don't have any disaster. The president came in with the volume of policemen, mobile policemen, soldiers, artillery, SSS. Somebody that was not supposed to be in the hall still found his way there. They should have all been sacked. I am telling you, unfortunately, nothing has happened as of today. Somebody just came out, the police just came out that the guy um, was overzealous. He has an ally of the president, and he moved forward to see him. And you say you have security. May God help us.
Hmm. Thank you, Mr. Ali. Due to the advert, I think our front page is missing the Mr. and Mrs. this morning. I will not be able to take. Thank you for joining us this morning. Do want to like and follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. You can also visit our website, www.vanguardangel.com. Have a lovely Monday.